I don't like losing. You got to know what it takes to win in the National Football League, and I think we're going to get there. I truly believe that. I think right now we're not.
With the first pick in the 2018 NFL Draft, the Cleveland Browns select Baker Mayfield.
This is Everything Browns Nation, and now your host, a lifelong diehard Browns fan just like you. Here's Corey Boy.
Yeah, let's go. I'm not even going to wait for the music to stop playing. I am ready to go. I'm rolling. I'm looking at the comments already, and my man Eddie Stats is in the building, throwing out numbers already. He is on fire. He said, Corey, how are you feel with the 5-0 victory? Well, you know, Eddie, I had to look at the score, and I said, did the Indians play the Phillies? Was that a baseball game? No, that was the Browns' victory over the Eagles. You know what, Eddie? I will take it. I'll take it. He also threw out Landry, 3 catches, 23 yards on 10 targets. Eddie's in Bardstown, Kentucky. Clyde said, what's going on, Corey, from Grove City. He said the GC. I want to welcome everybody who is tuned in right now. If you haven't tuned in before, if you are new to what is going on, let me introduce you. This is Everything Browns Nation, live at 9:05 on a Monday, but that's all going to change because this is our last Monday. Going into the season, we are moving to Sunday mornings, pre-game show from 11 to 12. From here on out, 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. So I just wanted to get that out of the way right now. If you are watching our new time starting coming up this Sunday, so you will see me again Sunday from 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. to kick off Preview Sunday for every game this season. Let me know where you are from, where you make a comment. Let me know where you are at so I can see where all the Browns fans are from. I'm pointing to the globe around the world. Where are you? I think I'm going to be a meteorologist in my next career. Where are you at? Let me know. Drop it in the comments, please. I need to know where y'all are at. Let's go, Browns fans. Dog pound. Let them know what you are representing. My man, Producer G, is back in the building.
Yes.
From Cali. How you feeling?
Yes, I'm good. I'm happy to be back. Happy football season's back. This will be the final show without football, if I'm not mistaken. No, I'm sorry. The first one this coming Sunday will be the last show without football. So we're excited about that. Let's not forget to remind everyone, too, if you're watching on EBSN Online or Phantom or Everything Buckeye Nation or Everything Cavs Nation, leave your comments on the Everything Browns Nation Facebook page. That's where we're watching them today.
Thank you, Producer G. Yes, get on over here to Everything Browns Nation so I can get your comment live on air. Ben says, what up from the west side of Columbus, 614. John says, Carlos ain't hiding. Pal, Ohio. Josh from Toledo. JC from Pittsburgh, PA. We got a Browns fan from Pittsburgh. That's what I'm talking about. Jimmy from Findlay and Natasha still barking from last week. She says, woof, woof from Grove City. Let me know where you're at. We're going to have some fun today. We're going to have some fun. Michael, my man Mike says, what up, Mike? Thanks for watching. We're going to start off with that football/baseball game we had. At least the score, it was 5-0. 5-0. That is not a misprint. That was the final score. I was shocked what was going on. The defense, I'm telling you, was monstrous. They were on point. They looked scary, ready to roll. They looked like a well-oiled machine. Let me know, were you impressed with the defense like I was? Now, I know, listen, I said it last year. Even though he won a Super Bowl and people got on me, you are hating on Nick Foles. How could you say that? It wasn't Carson Wentz. It was Nick Foles at quarterback. But they still went out there and made him look pedestrian at best. His own coach wasn't happy with him. The defense looked great. Now, the offense, on the other hand, that's a whole nother story. The offense didn't look too well, ladies and gentlemen. They looked terrible. Man, come on, guys. The offense didn't look well. Now, I know it's just preseason, so I got to take it with a grain of salt on both sides of the ball. I want the defense to keep doing what they're doing. Keep it up. Myles Garrett's looking nasty. Everybody's attacking the ball. I'm looking at the comments. Mark says they're going to be a top 5 defense. Jose says, what up from Cleveland? Eddie threw out some more stats. Nick Foles was 13 for 17, 127, and 2 INTs. Jose says, A+ on defense. Foles was shook. Laughing emoji. John says, Elf D rose up. Mark says, against the Super Bowl defense. Yes, that is a Super Bowl defense. I will give you that, but I at least wanted them to score. And one thing I didn't like was that goal lines. The goal line play calling they had when Tyrod got hurt.
Real quick.
Yes.
He says Super Bowl defense. That's a Super Bowl defense that gave
up 40, yes.
Yes.
They gave up 500 yards.
Let's not say Super Bowl
Tom
defense, okay?
Brady, and they made one good play.
It's in the Baltimore Ravens or Seahawks, so.
They made one good play that whole game, the strip on Tom Brady.
And if Brady don't drop a pass, it's maybe another type
Well,
of
that's
game.
their fault for sending him out on a route. Y'all seen him at the combine. Are you serious? Did you really think he was going to catch that? No. But that's a good point, Producer G, on that. There was no defense in that game. It was who scored last was going to win the Super Bowl.
So Mark Dent, no offense to you, sir, but that being a Super Bowl defense doesn't mean anything.
And Mark Dent, blame Haley on the goal line. I agree with you on that. Hugh even said that was his. Now, I want you guys – call at 1-866-217-1966. This is Everything Browns Nation, EBSN Online. If you miss anything, you can catch us on iTunes, SoundCloud, Google Play, YouTube at Everything Browns Nation, EBSN Online. You can catch us all over the place. If you miss something or if you just want to watch it again, you can catch us all over the place. That fourth and goal. That 4 plays they ran at the goal line. You didn't run the ball one time with Carlos Hyde or Nick Chubb. What were you thinking? And you almost cost yourself a quarterback. What was going through his mind? We're on the 1. Let's spread them out 5 wide and throw the ball. Let's throw fade patterns to Jarvis Landry twice, our 5'10" receiver at best, instead of running Carlos Hyde, who was a man on a mission in his limited time. Ladies and gentlemen, Eddie Stats, do you have his numbers? If not, I do. 7 carries, 45 yards. And you didn't give him the ball there. Or Nick Chubb, who had 14 carries for 46 yards. But you don't give him the ball and put our quarterback at risk. I did not like that. Let me know how you guys feel about that decision to not run him once and then to let Tyrod Taylor go back in the game. Are you kidding me? Who makes these decisions? Evidently, it falls back on Hugh Jackson. I don't care what Tyrod says. I don't care what Haley says. I don't care what anybody says. You don't put him back in the game. I wanted to show my toughness to the team. So what? It's preseason.
To be fair, that happened with Cam Newton the other day, too.
And that's stupid, too.
He left the game and came back in. I'm just saying it's not like it's just the Browns.
No, but Cam Newton and the Panthers didn't go 0-16 neither. We can't just be throwing out our quarterback in a meaningless preseason game after what we thought, well, at least, okay, I can't say we. Me, I thought was a serious injury. And you just throw him back out there against a pointless game. I'm just glad that he wasn't seriously hurt as it looked. The announcers thought it was serious, but it ended up just being a dislocated pinky. Now, you hear I just said that? Just a dislocated pinky.
Hey, that really is not and it was on his non-throwing hand, correct?
Right.
Yeah, so
I still don't want to
really not a big deal.
I don't want to dislocate my pinky.
You got to be a tough guy to play in the NFL.
Yes, you do. And he showed his toughness, but I don't want to see it in preseason. I just do not.
Mike Blevins on our Facebook Live comment says he's playing for his job. That's a good point.
Yes and no. Not right now he's not. Hugh Jackson, to me, I like the comment, but Hugh Jackson is steadfast on not starting Baker right now.
I feel like you can make the argument that he has played at least just as good.
Until Thursday.
Yeah, but the whole offense struggled, right?
Right. He had his shot against the first teams, and even Baker himself said he was not happy with his performance. He wanted to show what he could do against the ones. Really his first chance playing against a starting defense all preseason. Now, granted, the whole offense stunk, but Baker didn't show what he wanted, and Hugh Jackson has been from the beginning of the season saying Tyrod is his guy. So why do you put your guy out there to get hurt?
Baker actually
re-injure himself.
Baker actually suffered an injury too.
Yeah, concussion. Well, he passed the concussion test, but he went for a concussion in the same game, ladies and gentlemen.
So after what you saw from him in that game, are you worried about him now, like as far as you think he's not ready yet?
No, I'm not worried about him. Not at all, because he's not starting. He's not the quarterback. They have made it that Tyrod Taylor's quarterback. I'm not worried at all. I always tell people I don't get too high or too low in the preseason. Now, I do get energized because it's Cleveland. We have a lot of talent this year, but I don't get too high or too low. Catch me when the games start. Then I will let you know when I am worried about Baker's performance or Tyrod's performance. John says, got to protect Tyrod because basically it's a pro scrimmage. Eddie says Hugh Jackson going to be fired if he gets injured for the season. JC says maybe they are sabotaging Taylor so Baker can start. Tom Launder said these guys have a game plan to practice. New offensive system, new QB. That QB is trying to prove he is a leader. I can't really fault him. He is playing for his job. I liked everything you said except for the last part. I don't believe he's playing for his job because Hugh is always saying that is his starter. But I do believe he was trying to show leadership and show he's tough. I don't agree with trying to show you're tough in a preseason game. But hey, I'm glad he's not hurt. Eddie says, heck, run Duke Johnson, 3 carries for 13 yards. Mike says true, but Baker plays better. You go with the better QB. When has Baker showed he's better than Tyrod Taylor? Does anybody believe Baker's better than Tyrod Taylor right now as an NFL quarterback? I don't think so.
I wouldn't say better, but I definitely felt like he showed like he might be close to being equal. He's not far from him, I would say that.
But he's not better.
I wouldn't go as far as to say better, but I would say he's not far behind him. That's what I would say.
He's not better, so I still wouldn't start him yet. We have to get off this instant push the rookie right now. Let's go, because if Baker struggles out the beginning, there's no going back. You can't bench Baker for Tyrod, but you could bench Tyrod for Baker. You can't go the other way around. You can't go, okay, Baker, you're not doing good. Tyrod, come on in.
Well, that's based on where he was drafted. I mean, you're the number one pick. You can't turn away once you get him out.
Exactly. So that's why you can't You can go the other way. If Tyrod's not getting it done and you're sitting at 0-5 for whatever reason, okay. See what the kid got.
Well, that would happen for sure.
Oh, yeah. I'm just saying, it's over. Like, we're 0-5.
I want to just appreciate everybody who's been tuning in so far, sending in the comments. You're watching Everything Browns Nation live podcast on EBSN Online, Phantom, Everything Buckeye Nation, Everything Cavs Nation. Make sure you leave your comments on the Everything Browns Nation Facebook page. That's where we're watching, and appreciate it. Make sure you keep them coming in. We want to hit 1,000 comments today, so keep the comments coming.
Yes.
Share this video in all your favorite Browns groups. Invite all your Browns friends. Let's just make this video blow up.
Yes, let's get the Browns where they need to be. I love the dialogue. I love everybody who's making a comment. And like I said, let me know where you're making a comment from. I want to know where you are at in the world. Look right here where the rain's supposed to come tomorrow. Let me know where you're at. You see this right here? That's water. This is still water. My hand is not showing where the states are. There we are. Let me know where you're at. I want to know, where are you commenting from? And let me know. I'm going back to the defensive side of the ball. How impressed are you this preseason with this defense? How impressed are you so far with this defense? Reginald says Charlotte, North Carolina. Eric says Richmond, Ohio. Mike says Dayton. JC says, I think if we're 0-3, Baker comes in. Tom says right here in the 216. Robert says St. Petersburg, Florida. And Jason from Akron, Ohio. I'm going to try to get them all out. Keep them coming, ladies and gentlemen. We are here in Browns football. Browns Nation, how impressed are you with this Cleveland defense? Let me tell you something. I have a little bit of numbers here on this defense that made me go, wow. Pro Football Focus put out some numbers on this defense. An individual were graded on a scale from 100. Terrence Mitchell was the highest grade against Philadelphia. He got a 95.6 grade. Jamie Collins, 94.4. Myles Garrett, 92.6. Buddy Calhoun, 92.5. And Jernard Avery, who actually hurt his hip and he may miss some time, they're not sure yet, was a 91.0 out of 100. That's from Pro Football Focus. The defense showed up against Philly. Those were the Browns' highest rated players. And Myles Garrett recorded 5 pressures, 2 of which were sacks, and just 15 pass rush attempts. Ladies and gentlemen, and that was, my man, Producer G, against a Super Bowl winning offense, not a defense, but an offense with Nick Foles, which, like I said it last year, and I've got pushback for it, but I don't care. I've never believed in Nick Foles, and I never will. And if I'm wrong in that, I really don't care, because I just don't believe in him. I don't. He was almost out of the league. Almost out of the league. Yes, he balled out in a Super Bowl. He balled out. But if he has to play 16 games this year for whatever reason, no.
I'll take the opposite on that. I like Nick Foles.
I know
personally.
You did, and we was talking about that. And I don't like him.
27 touchdowns, 2 picks. He's a Super Bowl champion. This guy is in the history books.
Yeah, and that 27-2 was his best year ever. And then after that, he was gone. Yeah,
because they didn't give him a chance. He was
on St. Louis.
How do you cut an MVP?
And they kicked him out.
He wasn't bad there either.
And that was in Chip Kelly's system. He did that.
And then he went to Kansas City and was back with Andy Reid, and now he went back to Philly, and he just balled out ever since.
And he was terrible in Kansas City too.
He's never not balled out in Philly until
after his first year, he didn't do anything. After his first year in Philly, he did nothing. That's why they got rid of him.
He's decent.
Let's say this. If Carson Wentz happens not to play, they're in trouble. I'm just saying that. Don't expect Super Bowl.
I would expect them to still remain contenders.
Myles Garrett, I don't know. You guys let me know.
And let's not forget to remind everyone, too, before we jump back into more shout-outs and comments, that we are switching to Sundays beginning next week.
Yes.
Pre-game coverage of the shows, 11 to 12 a.m. Make sure you're there every single Sunday.
11 to 12. We will be here previewing Cleveland games. Chris says I might have to agree with this. Joe Flacco had that epic run for this ship, and he is a joke. Joe says Myles Garrett is the best. He is a beast. Mark said, also heard a rumor. We was talked to the Raiders about Mac only giving up Agba in a first-round pick. Would you make that trade? I'd run myself if we could do that. Mike Tackett said, assuming the Browns play mostly nickel like the rest of the league, how would a linebacker rotation be handled? And Eddie says, do you think Jamie Collins Sr. is going to have a career year this year? Well, Eddie, I don't know if he's going to have a career year. But with Myles Garrett healthy, every defender is going to be a lot better than last year because Myles Garrett had 7 sacks in 11 games last year, and he played on a hurt ankle all year. And now he's healthy, and we see what he is doing.
Yeah, how good do you think he can be, actually, because there was a comment coming in, too.
I said at the beginning, I said on week 1, 16 sacks. That's what I said. Well, our first week doing the show. I said he could have 16 sacks.
That would lead the league, most likely.
Well, Bosa had 20 last year.
Did he have 20?
Yeah, Joey Bosa did, yeah.
20?
Yeah, I was shocked. Yeah,
I got to double-check that.
Yeah, I was shocked.
I thought DeMarcus Lawrence was one of the top for the Cowboys with 14.5.
Yeah, I swear they say he had 20.5 sacks.
Wow. You sure that's not career sacks?
Joe said you're right. Thumbs up. I don't know if he's talking about Bosa.
Well, they're like 30 seconds behind us.
Oh,
so
okay.
They're probably not there yet.
Nick Foles is another Trent Dilfer. Myles is an animal. He will be a sack monster. Eric says, I say wild card. Mike says Foles had the best O-line, Ajayi, Blunt, and a great supporting cast. He wouldn't have played like that for us last year. Joe says the Garrett comment, you're right. I hope I'm right, because if you have a dominant defense of linemen, the sky is the limit. If you get to that quarterback without a blitz, are you kidding me? Seriously?
I just wanted to make a correction.
Was that a wrong number?
You were wrong.
What
about
was it?
that.
How much was it?
Joey Bosa had 12.5 sacks last year. He has 23 career sacks.
So it was 23. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. 12 is still.
I'm like 20. That's J.J. Watt.
Yeah.
Like,
12 is not bad. So he would beat
MVP.
Yeah. So he would beat Joey Bosa. Good. So 16 is good.
I think 16 would lead the league.
Yeah. So it's
But
12
he's
and a half.
definitely-
So 23 is his career.
He's capable of that for sure. That's Joey Bosa's career, 23 sacks.
23 sacks for
2
Joey
years,
Bosa
2
in the
years.
career. And Myles Garrett had 7 in 11 games with a hurt ankle. Hey, he can do it.
You know he wasn't playing every snap.
And he was, and he was on snaps restriction last year. I'm telling you, if he is healthy, now I know what people that aren't Brown fans were saying. You guys were 0-16 last year. Yes, I know. Thank you for the breaking news. But with Myles Garrett healthy, I'm telling you, it makes a defense that much better. Mike said Garrett leads the league in sacks this year. I said it last week, and he's sticking with it. Bruce says, what do you think of Denzel Ward? I'm going to get to that in a second. Dwayne says we can win 6 or 7 games. And Mike says the Cajuice makes the practice squad. What do you think about Cajuice? He makes the team. I said it last week. I don't think you can cut Cajuice now. I mean, maybe now G knows I'm an emotional fan. I am emotional, right or wrong. I live on emotion. You can't pull our heartstrings with this Cajuice guy and then just cut him. You bring his dad in, and the story is about his dad, and then all of a sudden you're just going to cut the guy? Or you can't. You got to at least sign him to the practice squad. It ain't going to hurt. And he's made a couple good plays in the preseason. He showed he's got some talent. You can't cut this guy. Now, on the Denzel Ward, I'm glad he brought that up, Producer G. Denzel Ward injured his back trying to tackle Zach Ertz. And he's a pretty good tight end for Philly, if you just heard. Injured his back, and Greg Williams had some interesting comments about that. He said, well, if he finally learned to listen to me on how to tackle, he wouldn't have injured himself.
Wow. He called him right out, didn't he?
He called him out. And you know who didn't like that? Hugh Jackson. Hugh Jackson didn't like that. He says, I don't want Gregg Williams calling out people. And Gregg Williams actually used the word stupid in the comment.
Wow.
Now,
have
if
you been watching Hard Knocks?
Yeah. If you watch Hard Knocks, Gregg Williams, he doesn't care about it. He just doesn't care. He does not care.
F-bombs left and right.
Left and right.
You know, he was involved in the
Orleans
bounty,
Saints.
the bounty thing.
Yeah. Now, the question ask about what I think about Denzel Ward, I think he is going to be good. He just got to learn to turn his head around when the ball is in the air, which they're working on that. And I hope Ohio State learns to tell the DBs now, just turn your head around. But I love his intensity. I love he actually hits. He's not scared to hit, but don't hurt yourself tackling. Now, if Gregg Williams is right, I don't believe he should have called him out like that. But if he is right, let's not injure yourself tackling, especially a player like Zach Ertz, who is 2 times your size.
And a Pro Bowler.
And a Pro Bowler and a certified.
He's a beast.
A certified beast. Eric says, what do you think of our receiving core? Eric. Woo! I don't want to get too excited. Before I get to that, I want to thank everybody who is leaving a comment. You're watching the Everything Browns Nation show. And if this is your first time watching, I am Corey Boyd. And I want to appreciate everybody who has watched for 1 minute, 2 minutes, 30 seconds, 30 minutes, 5 minutes, how long you've ever watched. I want to appreciate you watching. If you made a comment, I appreciate it. Let me know where you are making that comment from. And if you want to talk to me, you can talk to me too at 1-866-217-1966. Let us know where you're from, and we'll go ahead and give a shout out. I'll try to get to it.
Yes.
Now, Eric says, what do I think about the receiving core? Josh Gordon is back. He had a little hammy issue when he returned to practice. He said it was just dehydration. He plans to contribute to Pittsburgh, and Hugh Jackson says he will not start. Well, he better be playing play 2.
If you left a comment and we did not get your comment, keep them coming in because we can only see them so fast and they come in quick. So if we didn't get yours, do it again. I'm sure we'll come right across it. If we didn't get your shout out, same thing. Keep commenting with us. Eventually, we will get to yours. Dwayne Emke asks if the Browns can win 6 or 7 games this year. Now, that's a separate topic, but I just wanted to comment on that, saying that next week, as I said previously in the show, we'll be streaming on Sunday, so that will be the final Sunday without football. So I'm pretty sure we'll have some sort of schedule. We'll run through the schedule, and we'll do some bold predictions, things like that. So make sure you're tuning in next week before we kick off the season.
And I give some bold predictions. They're bold, all right. Boy, sometimes they make me look stupid, but that is okay. So next week, we will get into that, how many games I think they're going to win. So next Sunday, please make sure you're tuned in. I'm going to look at the schedule and get exactly into how many games I think they will win. A bold prediction. Back to the receivers. Thank you, Producer G. I appreciate that. If Gordon is healthy, Hugh said he's not starting Gordon. Okay, that's fine. He's going to play against Pittsburgh as long as he's healthy. With Gordon, Landry, I seen the comment come in earlier. I didn't get to it. I think somebody asked me about Njoku, the tight end. I love him too. I think he's going to be a player that is looked over because of Gordon and Landry. And Duke Johnson's going to get some looks in the throwing game as well. He's going to be just going out on that field because they're not going to be looking at him. Gordon and Landry is going to attract that attention. He's a big guy. He can catch the ball. He has speed at the tight end position. He is a very low-key guy that I think people, if you're not looking out for him, look out for him. I'm looking at Joe Roman. Can you give a shout-out to our Suncoast Browns Backers Club down here in Newport, Richie, Florida. We love our Browns. We are all former Clevelanders. I just seen it. Just gave it a shout out. All Browns fans, here we go. Yes, shout out to Joe. Thank you for watching. Mike says Duke's yard after catch tops in the league. John says I have no problem if Gordon doesn't start week 1. He wasn't on the roster during his rehab.
You know what? Just because he doesn't start, that just means he technically doesn't start. But he's probably still going to play a majority of the snaps.
He'll play the first drive, unless it's like a turnover or something really quick. He is going to play quick. So to me, that doesn't even matter at all. Duke says, do you still think we should try and sign Dez Bryant? We had this conversation a couple weeks ago, if you weren't here, if you weren't watching, about signing Dez Bryant or not to sign Dez Bryant. Dez Bryant turned down, I think it was around a $4 million contract the Browns offered him, I believe. He said, no, thanks. I don't want it. He's looking for more money. Maybe he wants to be on a guaranteed contender. But to answer your question, do I still think we should still sign him? Yes. Why not? Talent. Josh Gordon, Landry, Dez Bryant. Now I understand what people say. He's going to ruin the locker room. Talent. I want talent. Now, do I think he's going to sign? No. But I did get some odds here from OddsShark. They gave updated odds from who is going to sign Dez Bryant, and Cleveland is first on the list at plus 300. Patriots second at plus 400. And Jaguars third after Marquise Lee is actually out for the lead at plus 400.
When was that update?
That was about a half an hour ago when I seen that. An hour ago before we came on air. Sorry, not half an hour ago.
Which team do you think needs him the most?
Who needs him the most? As of now, the Jaguars. They just lost their number 1 receiver.
The Patriots don't really have
the Jaguars need him the most.
They have Gronk and Edelman still.
Yeah. The Patriots, I mean, if I was Dez, I mean, I'm a Browns fan, but I'd go to the Patriots. Like,
to win, yeah.
Yeah. Like,
you're guaranteed to get probably to the Super Bowl.
You're guaranteed an AFC championship spot. Like, in the weakest division in the NFL. Like, come on.
The thing with Dez Bryant, if he signs with the Browns, he's going to have to accept a role of being a number 3 receiver because he's not going to come in and be number 1 over Gordon or Landry.
Right.
So that's going to be up to him. And they offered him that type of money, too, only $5 million. And did you see there was something he said to a fan where a fan said something to him on Twitter, and Dez loves to respond to fans.
Yeah.
He just listens to the noise.
Yeah.
Which is not good.
It's your guy.
So he says, so he's replied back, I got a contract offer in my phone right now from the Browns.
Yeah, I seen that.
So is this,
and then you didn't take it.
Yeah. So what's he doing? I think he's just waiting on the perfect situation.
And there is no perfect situation.
I think he came to the Browns thinking that they were going to be all over him, and they weren't on him like that. And they only offered him $5 million, and he's probably insulted because he wanted 14 from Dallas.
Right. There's no perfect situation. Eric says, totally agree with you about signing Dez Bryant. And you guys, that is inside information you got right there from Producer G. Because he has inside on Dez Bryant. He has dealt with him for his whole career. Demetrius Haley says, for an 0-16 team, I would have thrown the bank. Why not? Eddie says, if I was Chicago, I would go after Dez. And I believe Eddie also said, my $45 million guy. We know you love Dez, Eddie. $45 million, more like $4.5 million. And Demetrius Haley says false. And Mike says, if a team offered a 2nd or 3rd round pick for Josh Gordon, would you take it? No. No. Mike, don't start.
I wish they would take that.
No.
Cowboys would be all over.
Yeah, I know y'all would. No, we're not giving up Josh Gordon for nothing. We have been through the thick and the thin with Josh Gordon, and you think I'm just going to let him go?
You've come too far.
No, we have come way too far for a 2nd or 3rd round pick. Are you kidding me, Mike? Don't get me started, Mike. I like you, Mike. No, we're not giving him up. Do you think we want him to go and he just lets Dak throw to him?
He would
or Aaron Rodgers or any quarter? No.
He would have been cut by now
if
they were going to trade him because of all the stuff he's pulled off the field.
He's here to stay. Nobody's getting the benefits except Cleveland.
I just want to remind everyone that's watching on Facebook Live to leave your comments on the Everything Browns Nation Facebook page because that's where we're watching them.
My man Matt Holt in the building. What up, Matt? He says, Dez caught 60-plus last year. We don't even know what Gordon is anymore. Go sign Dez.
Okay, so
I like the sign Dez, but Gordon, listen.
So do you want Josh Gordon's potential or do you want Dez Bryant's achievements?
I want both.
Josh Gordon has a little bit of a
and we can have both.
Too.
That's the thing. We can have both.
Well, you would be having 3 if you include Landry in that conversation.
Yes. Why not?
That would be one of the best receiving corps in the league.
Why not? But we try. It's up to Dez, though. It's not like we didn't offer him.
Well, you could offer him more money.
Yeah, we good.
All right, well. That would explain it.
Eric says no. I think the no is to Dez. I'm not. I think is it the no, Dez?
Yeah, he's probably saying no to the question on the screen. Like, are you mad about it?
Okay.
He didn't accept it. Are you mad about that?
Who, me?
You said you still would like to have him, but are you mad?
I'm not mad that he didn't accept it, but I think he needs to get to reality. You're not number one.
Yeah. So since you're saying that, why do you even want him to come on over?
I like talent. We were 0-16, G. 0-6. You haven't lived through a 0-16 season and then a 1-15 before that. I just want all the talent I can gumption. 1-31. 1 game in 2 years. All the talent possible I'll take. I'll think about the ramifications later. When you watch every Sunday and when you get a lead and then you sit there and you go, we're going to find a way to blow it.
This is why the Browns, though, will continue to be mediocre because of your mentality right there.
Name the last dominant receiver we have besides Josh Gordon.
You're so desperate for wins that you'll take anything.
Kenny Britt.
When you make moves like Dez Bryant, if you sign him, you're potentially setting yourself back even more. That was one. I'm so happy the Cowboys didn't keep him this season because there were talks that he might have stayed because he was still under contract. If he stayed there, I was going to be like, oh, there's another season wasted.
I would agree with you if we were signing Dez Bryant as our number one go-to guy. This is it. This is it. We're riding or dying. He's our number 3 guy, like you said. And if it doesn't pan out, okay.
He has the personality of a number 1, though, because really he was like our number 3. Cole Beasley had been playing better than him. Terrence Williams was matching his numbers.
But Josh Gordon's better than Cole Beasley and Terrence Williams combined.
Yeah, you're right, but I'm just saying he was like the number 3 with us and still being that distraction.
And he played for Dallas he played for Dallas his whole career, so of course he's going to think that.
IJS. That was corny as hell. I'm just saying.
Of course he says that. Mike says Dez is another Kenny Britt. He ain't that bad. Kenny Britt's terrible.
Dez is better than Kenny Britt.
Kenny Britt got cut by the Patriots.
Dez Bryant is the most talented receiver available right now.
Eric Lancaster said Kenny Britt is trash. Mark then said, oh my goodness. Bo. Look, how did I forget Bo?
I'm going to get you guys excited about Dez Bryant. So go to, matter of fact, I'll share this on the Everything Browns Nation page after the show, Okoye Media. If you can look that up, he has a great film breakdown on Dez Bryant showing that there's nothing wrong with his game. It's the fact that he didn't have Romo anymore. He had Dak Prescott, and it makes a lot of sense. It's a different quarterback, different style, different chemistry. If Dez Bryant goes and plays with a Tom Brady, he's probably got a monster, for real.
And, John, we did not forget. Let's not forget about Landry. We have not forget about Landry, John. I'm excited about Landry. I love Landry. I'm excited. Like I said, him and Gordon, if we don't get Dez, I'm not going to be in the corner crying. I'm fine. I just said, I'll take the talent. That's all I'm saying.
Matthew Holt makes a good point if his information is correct. Cleveland offered Pryor a $32 million deal over 4 years, but they won't even give Dez 5. That's a good point. But maybe the circumstances are different now. Maybe you didn't have Jarvis Landry at that time, so maybe, you're spending more money on Jarvis.
What up, Matt? Now, are you saying they offered Pryor 4 years, $32 million this year? Or was that when he left?
That's what I said.
I think that's when he left.
I don't know if what he's saying is
I think that's when he was a free agent.
Not,
they offered him that.
If that's true, I'm just saying.
Yeah, I think it's when he left at free agency and he didn't take it. Dwayne says, why Dez Higgins is having a great camp.
No, I think they did try to bring him back this offseason. I'm pretty sure, but I could be wrong about that.
Okay.
We'll have to find out.
Reginald says, I'm not even sure we need help. # Hollywood. Kedrick Brown says, Kenny Britt can't even hold Dez Bryant's jock. Eddie says, does Cleveland have to hold teams to under 20 points to win games with the offense this year? I don't know yet, Eddie. We haven't seen this offense in a regular season game, and we haven't seen this defense in a regular season game. Right now, the defense looks great, and right now the offense didn't look too great against Thursday. But we will see come week 1 when it really counts. Then we will let you know what we're going to have to do. Bruce says, I really hope Callaway stays clean and balls out this year. And also remember against Philly, I'm not making any excuses, but Callaway and Gordon didn't play either. So take that for what it's worth. Joe says, I have to go third shift work here. Have to say I love this show. Thank you guys. Go Browns. Appreciate it, Joe.
Yes.
Appreciate it.
Hey, Joe, you can plug us in your earbuds.
Yes.
You can listen.
Yes.
You can listen to us at work.
Yeah, man. You got some. I know you got some wireless earbuds.
If you're third shift, you're either security or warehouse. Come on, man. Like you can give us a listen.
Eric says, bless him. Tom said that wasn't Dorsey making that crazy offer, and Matt did say it was last year. Okay. So it was last year. It was thanks Matt for clearing that up. See, that's why I love our fans. That's why I love our fans giving us golden nuggets. And producer G about to drop another Dez bomb.
Well, I was just gonna say,
what did Dez
no,
do
not
to
a
you?
Dez bomb.
Okay.
I'm just saying, if it was last year that Terrell Pryor was offered that contract, he might have been the best receiver at that time available to Cleveland.
Yeah.
Now you got Jarvis Landry, Dez Bryant.
Right.
So. But, I mean, he makes a good
We
point.
never should let Pryor go, but that's just me. That's another story for another day.
I liked Pryor, too,
That
in
was
Cleveland.
so stupid. I was like, what are y'all? But anyways.
I agree with that.
Yeah. I was like,
hey, well, what do you guys think in the comments? Did you want Terrell Pryor to stay? Were you mad when they let him go? Let us know what you guys think.
Well, even though we didn't have the show back then, were you guys mad when they let Pryor go? And I'm going to read some more comments. Landry is my favorite since he came out in the same draft class as OBJ. I honestly like Landry more than OBJ, to be honest. Ooh. Wow. Okay. Okay, John. Okay.
Both beasts.
Okay, John. I like that. Lucas says, God bless Dorsey. Praise the Lord above. Weekend Sashi. And John says, better starting back. Hyde, Johnson, or Chubb. Hyde. I'd
definitely go with the veteran in that situation.
That's me all day long. No shade at the other two.
Duke,
I just like Carlos Hyde. I mean, he's a veteran.
Duke is too small.
Yeah,
he's
Duke's
a
too
receiving
small.
back.
He's an every down back. Chubb right now is a rookie. I'm going with Carlos Hyde. Londell says they got to score more than 20 points per game.
Not if your defense is playing great, but you do want to score more than that.
They going to shut down everybody. It's kind of hard to do. But I'm with you. Eric says, nah. Kung Furry says, keep him. Clyde says they should have never let Pryor go. Tom says, I'm glad Pryor is gone. Peter says Pryor let himself go. He had the option to resign. Mike says the running backs play in that order. Mark says, yes, wanted Pryor to stay. So we're kind of 50-50 on the Pryor, I think.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I think he was a hometown favorite, being an Ohio State player and
yeah.
everything, and just being at a high school in Pennsylvania just across the way, too. So he was definitely a hometown area regional favorite around here.
And I want to thank everybody who has made a comment. If you just tuned in, we are moving to Sundays, 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. We will be previewing every Cleveland Browns game. Everyone. We know we have one on Thursday, but you get the gist. Every Cleveland Browns game we will be previewing. Make sure you get tuned in all year long. We're going to have some great shows. Tell all your friends, your family, your confidants, everybody you know. Share us, like us. We're just the fans, the voice of the fans, talking, communicating, agreeing, not agreeing. It is what it is. Follow us, like us, give us a rating. Let us know how you feel. Follow us on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. Support the nation on Patreon if you want to support us, because we want to give you more than one show a week. I'd like to talk to you every day if I could. I mean, that's just what I like to do, but it is what it is. I appreciate everybody who has tuned in. Joe says, I like Hyde. He's an OSU guy.
Yeah, he's talking about
a
hometown guy like Pryor was.
Right.
Yep.
And Mike says Pryor showed growth, not an elite wide receiver in this league. Natasha says should have kept Pryor, was their best receiver last year.
2 years ago.
Eddie. Yeah, 2 years ago. Eddie says, Eddie says, give Dez $10.5 million with a bonus. If he stays off social media, he gets an extra $5
I like that
million.
incentive.
Oh,
That's
man.
a good
Eddie,
incentive.
you should be Dez Bryant's manager.
He should be the Browns GM.
Yes, because you are. You know what I like about Eddie? He doesn't back down. He wants Dez Bryant, and he means it. He will give him the bank. I don't know if he deserves it, but he will give him the bank. Kedrick says, let's never talk about what the regime did before this season. We were 0-16. Why is it even relevant? I understand, but it's relevant because of the pain it caused me. I am emotional. I just am. I just want to win so bad. So when you see the pain in my voice or you see it, it's because of what that regime left me. They left me with pain and agony. Jeff says, love the crow. Mike says, crow garb.
Well, before we get to that, Demetrius had a great comment, and he went old school calling the show Trill. He said, this show is Trill. Glad I found it.
I
haven't heard Trill since high school.
I appreciate it, Demetrius. I'm glad we found you and you found us. If you're just tuned in, it's Everything Browns Nation. The last Monday we will be on. It will be Sunday from 11 to 12. Get up, cook some breakfast. If you got an early church sermon to go to, go ahead and get that in, and then come join us for some Browns and fun. We will have fun all year.
It's basically a tailgate.
And tailgate.
That's basically what it is.
Yeah,
the
it's
pregame, tailgate. We might even show us out here in the parking lot or something.
Yeah, we might have a parking lot behind me. Yeah. And Eric has joined the Eddie wagon. Give Dez $12.6 million for 1 year. Wow. What is going on?
So when do we start giving third wide receivers $12.6 million a year? Real quick, what's a crow? What are they talking about?
I don't know.
Maybe they're talking about Isaiah Crowell.
Oh, you're talking about Isaiah Crowell? Is that what you're talking about? Why did they give him up?
I think so.
Why did they give him up? I like him.
He said Crow is garb. I liked him too.
I liked him.
He actually looks pretty good. I can't remember the team, but I know I saw him make a great play.
If you had Crowell and Hyde,
was he with the Jets now?
Yeah, he's with the Jets. Yeah, that would have been pretty good. But maybe that's just me.
I liked Crowell.
Jeff from New Cornerstown, Ohio, and Eddie said, "Cleveland." Come on, Eddie. Come on, man. Come on, man. Why you gotta remind? 4-44 the last 3 years.
So what? Does Dez Bryant win you games? I think he just continues to set you back and keep you on the path you've been on.
Mark Dent says Jets. Eddie bringing up bad memories. Man, I'm loving the comments. Thank everybody who's making a comment. The defense has been dominant. The offense was terrible Thursday. Baker Mayfield had a concussion. Tyrod Taylor dislocated his pinky. Came back in, did nothing. Greg Williams called out Denzel Ward for tackling terrible. Hugh Jackson said, "What are you doing calling out my players? Stop it." And Dez Bryant is not coming to Cleveland because he wants more money. And Cleveland says, okay, good luck with that. Is that a good summary? That was a pretty good summary.
Sounds good to me.
That sounds like a good summary. So we want to thank everybody. And Mike Vickroy, my man Mike, says if Dez were to sign, what do you think if he brings the terms of wins to the team over or under 1.5? Wow. G, you are the Dez, the
right,
expert on Dez.
Before I jump to that one, I wanted to give a couple other shout-outs from people who have been commenting on the Facebook Live video. Bruce Amstutz, he says he was more mad that they let Mitchell Schwartz leave than Pryor. I don't even know who that is, so that just tells you all you need to know about Pryor. Let me see. What was the Dez question? Sorry, I got off track there.
Mike Vickroy says, if Dez were to sign, what do you think he brings in terms of wins to over of under 1.5?
Well, that's what I was saying to Eddie, because Eddie says we've been 4-44 in the last 3 years, so you go after Dez. I don't think Dez does anything to improve your team because he would be a number 3 receiver for you at best. And as I said before, you know, he's going to have the mentality of a 1, and he's going to be a 3, and it's just not going to be good. And I just would stay away from Dez Bryant. That's just me.
Yeah. Well, Tom, we're not getting no OBJ now. He just signed a nice little deal with New York, so that trade is over. Tom says, We can try that OBJ trade now. Sign Dez and trade him in a first round for OBJ. Not happening.
John Missack says he did have some comments on the Phantom page, but he's on the Brown page now, so he's happy to talk to you. All right, John. Good to talk to you, bro. Thanks for coming over. And to answer Mike's question, now is your over-under specific to last year's 0-16 team, or is this specific to the Browns over and under Vegas line? Because if it's the over-under of last year, of course it's over. They didn't win any game. Yeah, I mean, that would be an easy bet.
Yeah. Eddie says Eric Decker retired due to, I think, Dez. He thinks Dez goes to New England. OBJ, $95 million, crazy. $65 million guaranteed. He ain't going nowhere. There is no trade for Odell.
No, I bet you he gets hurt a lot now because he got 65 guaranteed.
As the young kids would say, he secured the bag.
65 guaranteed. You can get injured now the rest of your career and get that money.
He is paid.
But you're getting that no matter what. They cut you tomorrow, you're still getting that money.
Antonio Brown is licking his chops. He wants paid. That's a lot of money. Man, oh, man.
Jeff Craig said he thinks Dez will be a ball hog. Yes, that's
Dez.
He would be in your quarterback's ear. He'd be like, hey, I was open every single play.
But here is the thing that you got to remember. If it happens, oh, well, he can go bye-bye. The difference with Dallas that was his team his whole career, so he feels entitled that I am the man. What is this new quarterback not throwing me the ball like Romo did? What's all this running with Zeke stuff? What is this? Give me the ball. If he comes to Cleveland, give me – dude, like what is that? Like whatever. Like okay. You leave. Dallas was, quote, unquote, his franchise in his eyes. So it's a little different. Cleveland, like, no.
That's what I'm saying. Can he accept that lesser role? That's what I wondered.
We're going to have to find out and see.
That's what it comes down to.
And you know what? Like you said, he reads social media. He's probably reading everything people are saying and trying to prove a point.
It feels like he doesn't have self-awareness.
But his self-awareness is away because he thinks he's worth more than what he is right now. Like his market's not good.
So that worries me on the field. Will he be able to adjust his game and realize that he's not as good as he was and make those adjustments like a Jason Witten did, for an example, me being a Cowboys fan?
I'm willing to take that chance. What is there to lose?
Have you been watching Hard Knocks?
Yes.
What's going on with that? Anything new?
This week, we're going to see a little more Dez. We're going to see some Josh Gordon. Because
did they kind of tease the Dez thing in the last weeks? Or
he actually was on there last week. Okay. They're going to show the conclusion of that this week.
Okay.
And Josh Gordon, they're going to show more Josh Gordon this week. So, I'm loving Hard Knocks. Do you guys like Hard Knocks or no? Yay or nay? Are you liking it, hating it, or no? John says, I posted on the Beckham contract on my own page, and there's a curse with that. Look at Watt and now Zach Martin. And Mike says, just throwing a record out there, if they would be 4-12 without him, do you think they would get 6 wins with him? Basically, doesn't seem like much of a reason to even consider it. Mike says, Gordon playing for a contract this year, money bag. And Bruce said, would you be okay with Todd Haley taking over if we fire Hugh Jackson? That'd be fine with me. That's A-okay with me. He got head coaching experience. He's fiery. He don't take no nonsense. I'm not saying I want Hugh fired. But if he was to get fired, I'll take Todd Haley right now. He's a fiery guy. Steve says, love it. Thought I would hate it, but it's great. All right.
The show?
The show, or I don't know what he's talking about, but yeah.
Thanks for the comment.
No, Hard Knocks.
Okay.
Hard Knocks is awesome. I had to think about it for a second. Hard Knocks. Yes, I love it. I love it. It just makes me feel like I'm part of the team. I wanted to rant with Jarvis Landry, and I didn't even know what he was ranting about, but I just felt like, yeah.
I wish they'd do it throughout the whole season. That'd be cool.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Follow the whole season.
Yeah, I am part of it. But that's, I love Hard Knocks. I will be tuned in. Episode 4, what's going to go down? Joe says us being on Hard Knocks is going to get us some more calls, long runs. Vegas got our back, 60-1 bet for the Super Bowl. Might as well go ahead and bet on it. What do you have to lose? You can win some money. Jeff says Greg Williams for head coach. Speaking of Greg Williams coaching and Haley, what are you guys looking for preseason, the last game, Cleveland versus Detroit Football Lions? The only thing I'm looking for, stay healthy, please. Nobody get hurt.
I doubt we'll be seeing any starters.
No starters are going to play. He said Baker, he's going to try to play him the first half.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That's risky.
Yes.
I guess you're hoping he doesn't play this year anyway, so if he injures himself, he has the year off.
Yeah. So I hope Baker stays healthy. Baker looks good because he's going to be playing against backups. So I hope he looks good against those backups. And that's all I'm looking for. Stay healthy. Baker, look good against backups because that's what you will be playing. Get some rhythm. Get out of the first half. A couple touchdown passes. Have a seat. Everybody healthy. And we go into Pittsburgh full strength. Tom says, what if Haley takes over, then Cans Williams blows it all up and starts over again? Haley takes this team. He is bringing in his own staff, so let's just hope none of that happens.
Could you really say you'd be surprised?
Well, yeah, I hope none of that does happen. I wouldn't be surprised if that did happen.
I say it's the Browns.
If he took over, but we hope none of that happens.
Anything negative that would happen to the Browns, you would never be surprised.
We're going to stay positive here. New regime. Come on. Let's go. Win some games.
And make sure you guys turn on your notifications so you can so it can tell you when we're live, and make sure you tune back in next Sunday.
Tune back in next Sunday, Steven. That answer will come next Sunday. Preview show. He said what he thinks best, worst records for the Browns this year. We are going to go all over that next Sunday. New time, 11 to 12. 11 to 12 next Sunday. And from here on out.
And that's in the afternoon. Not late night like this.
Yeah, in the afternoon. 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. Not 11 at night. Nah,
they might be confused because we're on late now.
Yeah, 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. to be specific. 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. I want to thank everybody who tuned in. I really appreciate it. I appreciate your comments for tuning in. We are going to have fun this year. I want to get to John's comment. He says, week 4 against the Lions. I like to see how Stanton does running backs and D-line outside of Garrett. I do like that as well. Garrett's not playing, thank goodness, because we already know he is beasting it. Joe says, great show. I'll be there. Eddie says, this Sunday, 11 to 12. And Eric said, the show is awesome. I appreciate all the great comments. I want to see y'all next Sunday. Browns Nation, we taking over. It's a new regime, and there's no Des Bryant, so that makes G happy as well. We are going to be here next week. We're going to be here Sunday, 11 to 12. Technically, that's the beginning of the week. We will be here 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. Everything Browns Nation. That's Producer G. I'm Corey Boyd. See you on Sunday, 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. I'm out. Yeah.